You know, James, you've got to be careful out there in space
Why is that, Elise?
because you might hit a space bar and you don't want to get intoxicated when you're trying to navigate the perils of space.
You're talking about space bars. I wish I could hit delete on this conversation. So that way I could go home and end this talk right now.
You could theoretically edit this out.
I don't have the patience for that. So basically what happened is, hey everybody, what's going on? We just saw The Martian. And then as soon as it was over, I leaned over to Elise and I go, you want to do a review?
I said no.
And she said, absolutely not. And then, so anyway, we got home, and then I said, screw it. And so I set up the computer, and I said, oh, we're going to do a review. And so we wanted to do a real quick review. There hasn't been a couple videos over this weekend because we've been really busy, but we wanted to do a funzo review of The Martian because Lisa had a big smile on her face. And we're going to do it while we play Alien Isolation because they're somewhat vaguely related.
Well, you see, Scotty Riddles, who
Yep.
directed The Martian,
Yep.
he made the video game Alien Isolation.
That's true. He programmed it from scratch.
He drew all the pictures for the video game.
What you're seeing here, it's his vision come to life. No, but so The Martian. For those of you that haven't heard of it, even though you have, it's a movie starring Matt Damon. It's based on a very popular book that a lot of people were desperately trying to read before the movie came out, so that way it made it seem like they were totally all about the book before the movie came out, but we know that they're actually just doing it because of the movie. So that's basically that.
That's unfair. I feel like a lot of people like to see the source material before seeing an adaptation. I don't think there's any fault in that. There's no fault in our stars, James.
Ooh, good movie title.
Never
there.
saw it, never read it.
Never saw it, never read it. So basically it's directed by Ridley Scott.
Oh, there's that rowboat.
Yeah, we were at a really bad spot in this last time.
Yeah, so Ridley Scott directed, the last thing he did was Prometheus, right?
No, he did Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Exodus. Yes, which we have to finish. He passed on doing a Prometheus sequel in favor of making The Martian, and thank God that he did, because The Martian is incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was really genuinely good. I enjoyed basically every moment of the movie. Basic premise is it's about this dude who's stuck on Mars. He's an astronaut, and he's stuck on Mars, and it covers a lot of time. It harkens back to like Apollo 13. There's a lot of gravity vibe going on to it. But I think what made this movie really enjoyable for me is that it felt fun. Like it had fun with the concept of being trapped on Mars, which is interesting. You wouldn't think that would be that feasible, but it actually was. So that's what I liked most about it. Getting kind of sidetracked, but Prometheus is this movie that I found to be just horrible, just really bad, and it was frustrating because the movie itself is beautiful. It's just like a beautiful looking movie. The
Visually impressive.
The production design is awesome, but the actual writing is just horrible. just terrible. And so it was very frustrating watching that movie and thinking, oh man, I know that they can do better than this, and I wish they didn't tie this into Alien and all kinds of things like that. And then this movie is a very simple story. It's not overly complex. It's not about God and our relationship to God. It's about some dude who's stuck on Mars, you know?
It's not pushing any existential agenda.
Yeah.
And it's not asking the Damon Lindelof bottomless bag of questions that can never be answered.
Yep.
Which is an inherent flaw to Prometheus, but that's a whole other story. What The Martian does so elegantly is tell a story that actually like leaves Mars. It's not just on Mars. It is, it encompasses the entire world, and which makes it even more interesting. Like, I immediately, when we left the theater, I said to James, it reminded me a lot of Apollo 13.
Yeah.
The scenes in Apollo 13 go back and forth between mission control and the spacecraft, and the dichotomy of this team trying to work thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away to help them solve their problems, and do that in a abstract environment, and replicate what they're dealing with and try to recreate that so they can find some resolution. That is what Apollo 13 is a lot about, and that's what this movie is a lot about.
I agree.
And I actually was so happy watching The Martian. The fact that there is a very large cast, it reminded me of the movie Contagion in that sense, because Contagion feels like there are a lot of moving parts going on. Mm-hmm. There are different committees all over the world that are dealing with the virus, and The Martian feels like, there are all these different people in different places that are trying to work together to coordinate a solution to this. And that's what this feels like. And it didn't feel like, oh my god, we've been on Mars forever, because the pacing was really great, going back and forth between the settings and the people and the stories. So I was so grateful that there was actually, it wasn't just a Castaway Tom Hanks scenario.
Yeah.
It was multiple stories and a lot of characters that were really, really likable.
That's
and really, really great.
So that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be this, solo story about this dude.
Me too.
But, that's the kind of thing where I feel like I've seen a bunch of
this
times.
Dude, but he's a botanist dude.
Yeah, a botanist dude. But I feel like I've seen that a bunch of times. Like you said,
Yes.
Castaway.
Castaway buried Ryan Reynolds.
Gravity,
we've seen it.
And Gravity's a movie that I think is really enjoyable, but it's intense. It's really intense.
It's a real achievement to be able to carry a story for a feature film that just relies on one actor.
Yeah. But sometimes movies are better when you have a bunch of actors that you enjoy watching, all kind of working towards a common goal. And I think this is... For a movie about one dude on Mars, it has a great ensemble cast.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's a testament to this. I think that's a testament to this movie.
The incredibly interesting thing is that Matt Damon did not shoot any scenes with any of the cast. As large as the cast is, they had no scenes shot together whatsoever.
Nor was he apparently ever on Mars. That was news to me.
Never reached Mars. But yeah, he didn't actually meet a lot of the cast until the premiere.
Really? I didn't realize that. So there's certain things where I feel
they're not. If you think back, you'll really realize that they weren't ever really...
yeah, okay.
Think about it. But,
no, I gotcha. I trust you.
But yeah, there were certain members that he never met, and as expansive as the cast is. You mentioned Prometheus earlier. Mm-hmm. And this movie does reek a lot of Prometheus in the costume design, the spacesuits. If you read about it, they actually did use a lot of the prototype spacesuits and design from Prometheus were incorporated into this film.
Were they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I just said that as a joke.
No, they actually were.
That's really cool.
But yeah, I was super into it, and I was a big fan of Apollo 13, like I said, and so to get that kind of vibe was really great.
So the big thing for me was also how, like we mentioned, Gravity. These movies are super intense, and they ask for you to basically not breathe for 2 hours. You're constantly waiting for something horrible to happen. I'm always fascinated. Okay. I'm always fascinated. Yeah. I'm always fascinated by space alien stuff.
Spalians.
And so, I really like, I can't even think what it's called. I really like Gravity. I really like Apollo 13.
Interstellar?
No, I do like Interstellar, though that one drifts so far away from space.
Event Horizon?
No, I do like Event Horizon.
Red Planet?
No, it's the Danny Boyle movie,
Oh,
Sunshine.
Sunshine is phenomenal.
Sunshine
2/3 of Sunshine is phenomenal.
Sunshine has those kinds of things that would normally be really off-putting for me, but I kind of enjoy when it's done really well. And Sunshine, I think, is one of those movies done well, but it's very intense. I don't necessarily say, hey, why don't I sit back, have a beer, and watch Sunshine tonight, just because that's not, necessarily what I would want to do, but I could see myself watching The Martian again, and I
Oh.
guess that's my biggest compliment that I could say to it.
Totally. Like when I was like 10 and had a ton of time in the world and would rewatch Apollo 13, if I was 10 now and same things applied, I would rewatch The Martian probably.
Yeah.
You mentioned Sunshine. Sunshine has a really amazing score.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of John Murphy, who is always great, and The Martian has a really great score, but probably not the kind of score that you would expect.
Yeah.
Also, which
Yeah.
I thought was really, really fun. And there are some fun things it does with music and montages to carry the plot forward, because this movie does span a huge amount of time.
Yep.
I hope we're trying not to give spoilers.
I don't think we've given too much away, but I mean it's fun. I think that's the thing. It's fun. It's color for a movie that takes place. For a movie that is just about one dude alone,
Botanist dude.
one botanist dude alone on a red planet. It's extremely colorful. It has a ton of really fun characters. It's funny. It's intense. It doesn't sacrifice its intensity for having moments of levity. In fact, it makes those more frightening moments even more frightening.
Yeah, because the tone shifts. You go from like, oh, we're having a bit of a laugh, and then, oh no, shit just went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because you say it is really colorful, and some of that has to do with the way it's shot. And Prometheus too, the cinematography on that made it feel like there were a lot of colors.
Yeah.
Even though it was a pretty dark movie, but the way that this is shot with all the color and it is on a red planet, I think I was reading that a lot of those, it was shot, on a stage.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was shot in Jordan. In the desert, because they do have like those kind of red deserts, so it's like, oh, it actually does feel sort of natural.
Yeah.
Something else I was gonna. I also feel like Matt Damon was incredible. Matt Damon just always feels like really likable everyman, and I can only imagine that Ben Affleck gave him a ton of tips, maybe some of his old gear from Armageddon.
Yeah. You think so?
He said, Matt, this is...
They don't talk as much as they used to. Do you realize that? Does that break your heart?
They probably do. They probably Snapchat.
Do you think that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck Snapchat with each other?
For sure. He goes, Matt, when am I going to see you in Boston? In Boston.
Is that what they say? Is that
Matt,
who is that?
when am I going to see you in Boston?
Which person is that? Matt Damon or
Ben Affleck, Boston.
I don't think
Fucking departed Boston.
He just says the words of movies that he hasn't been. The town he has been. But I like him just going departed.
He says,
Boston.
Damon, when you come in your Boston.
All right. Final thoughts on The Martian. What would you? We're not going to rate these things because we're not actual movie critics. We're just kind of giving our reactionary opinion.
It is worth seeing. If you can afford to see it in a theater, that is the ideal experience within which to see it. We didn't see it in 3D, so I have no idea what that experience is like. Though I can only imagine it's pretty awesome. The acting is incredible. The cinematography is great. The story is fantastic. It keeps you on the edge of your seat without feeling like they're just throwing catastrophe after catastrophe at you. It makes it feel realistic. The science feels very real.
Though we can't verify any of that.
We can't verify any of it because we are ignorant dudes. We're not botanist dudes.
Yeah.
Though I have seen that like other people are verifying the science and saying that there are issues, and there was one major issue which I won't discuss for fear of spoiler, but so a lot of it seems seems to check out, and it is a science fiction movie that really does focus on the science.
Yeah.
Which people make sci-fi movies, but there's no real science there.
It's also kind of it does kind of have its little movie type things which are like, how are we going to explain how gravity works? It's basically like Kerbal Space Program. How are we going to explain these complex physics
to
things
laymen like us,
to idiots like us? Oh, we're going to use maybe people standing in a boardroom and like little action figures or whatever. Like and those are things that are kind of unavoidable, and I understand. I understand that they're in the movie for a reason, but they're not there so much that they're like off-putting.
No.
It's good. It's not Aaron Eckhart with an apple on fire in the core being like super condescending to the audience and everything. It's pretty. God, these guys.
Android.
This game doesn't even give me a chance. I think I must be playing it wrong or something. It's genuinely a good movie, thoroughly enjoyable, but not so like riveting. Sometimes you just want movies to be movies. Like, you paid a good amount of money to go to a place, get away from things, and hang out and enjoy something for 2.5 hours. So why do you want to necessarily have a heart attack the whole time? It doesn't have that. It's really good, and I recommend it.
Yeah, there are some movies that are hard to watch. Like, just that guttural feeling of like, like this is like a punch in the stomach to watch this. The Martian is not like that at all.
No.
Like, it is heavy subject matter, but not to that degree.
Yeah.
And in that sense, the cast is really an unexpected cast too. A lot of comedians in the cast.
Matt Damon for one.
Matt Damon. Martian.
There was a point during the movie where you leaned over and you went,
Because he did something derpy.
yeah, he did. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, so that's basically our reaction. If anything, the takeaway from the movie is that we felt enough compulsion to say, hey, do you want to make a video about this movie? And we were like, yeah, sure. Well, I was like, you want to make a video? And you were like, please don't.
Yeah, and you know, kudos to Scotty Riddles. It's always great when a young, up-and-coming director gets his big shot.
He's almost dead.
Can't wait to see what he does next.
He's almost dead. No, he did a great job, and now I guess we have to go watch Exodus at some point. We started watching it the other night, now we can't. But, he's somewhere. He's over nearby. And for the record, I think I'm really shitty at this game. Where is it?
I don't know how you can be good at this game.
People have beaten it, but for me, it seems... Oh, he's right above me.
Oh, there he is.
Me. I can't beat a single level of this game! Why?
Well, that's a good place to end it.
Thanks for watching. If you guys hated this video, please let us know in the comments. If you did see The Martian and you disagree with us, please let us know in the comments. If you saw The Martian and you did agree with us, please let us know in the comments. And
just so you guys know, we are going to finish Until Dawn and Soma.
We're finishing Until Dawn. We're finishing Soma. We're going to play other things.
I might have a few games up my sleeve, considering Halloween's coming up.
At least reminded me that I have Smite codes. They're codes for exclusive skins. So we're going to do more Smite Roulette, and I might just play on my own some and give away these codes. But thank you for watching. Let us know what you think. And now do your catchphrase that you always do at the end of every video.
Light it up, I'm on fire.